Hello, my name is Debbie Broxma, and I'm the outgoing Africa Area Coordinator for Presbyterian World Mission. It has truly been a privilege to serve with you these past 10 years and to see this mission network so faithfully engage in cutting-edge mission. And it's my pleasure to introduce you to this fine group of mission co-workers we have serving with our partners in Congo. Each of them plays a crucial role in implementing Presbyterian World Mission strategy in Africa as they accompany the Congolese Church in demonstrating and proclaiming the gospel of salvation and justice, in addition to helping connect Presbyterians, like yourselves, to that work. Jeff Boyd serves as the regional liaison for Central Africa, and his work focuses on nurturing the Peace USA relationships with Congolese partners at all levels, from the national to the congregational levels. And he will be taking on additional responsibilities in just a couple of days as he serves alongside Doug Tilton as co-interim Africa Area Coordinator. In her role as regional facilitator for women's and children's interests, Christy Boyd's work focuses on lifting up issues of women and children's rights and well-being. Her work in Congo includes accompanying the CPC in community-based approaches to addressing the needs of vulnerable children, as well as accompanying the ECC in their Children's Trauma Healing Program. Larry and Inga Streschley serve with Interchurch Medical Assistance. In his role as country director, Larry helps to provide health care to a 9 million person catchment area. In addition to their ongoing health and nutrition work, the Streschleys are deeply involved at the national level response to COVID-19, which includes resourcing the health facilities of our Presbyterian partner churches. Our newest member of the team, Jose Lamont Jones, and his wife Eveline are looking forward to moving to Congo as soon as possible for Jose to begin work with the CPK Education Department to strengthen their 300 schools. Jose and Eveline are currently studying French. Thank you.
Greetings. I'm Jeff Boyd, the Central Africa Regional Liaison for the Presbyterian Church USA. I've been liaison for over 15 years. Christy and I live in Kinshasa, from where our work brings us to other countries as well. For me, that is usually Cameroon, Equatorial Guinea, and yes, to the US as well. Looking back on what has happened since the last Congo Mission Network meeting in Knoxville in October 2019, unsurprisingly, COVID-19 has been a major preoccupation. We'll hopefully hear a lot about that in the coming sessions, such as how churches and schools in the Congo have been affected by the government restrictions on gathering. With less access to the technological tools that many churches in the U.S. have, this has even more severely limited the ability of churches in the Congo to support their pastors and to maintain the operations of the Central Church administration. Thankfully, the government-imposed lockdown did buy important time by limiting the spread of the virus throughout the country. In other aspects of life, political alliances in the Congo are showing signs of fraying. Violence in East Congo continues to wreak havoc on the lives of many, as more than 70 militia groups vie for territory. Ebola has been eradicated in the east, however it's popped up in the northwest. Thankfully, the Ebola vaccine seems to be effective. Measles, malaria, cholera continue to pose threat to the life in Congo. The COVID-19 pandemic restricting travel and large gatherings has pushed us faster to expand our use of available technologies and communication. During visits to Mbujimai and Kananga in February and March, we began testing Zoom to bring together educators and church leaders in the Congo with those who share a passion for education in the U.S. We have continued those meetings after I returned to Kinshasa. While not perfect, they are very helpful as we continue to improve the experience. The joy expressed on the face-to-face meetings reflects the values put on relationship and not just the ministry. We hope that through this virtual meeting, we'll have more people participating in the Congo and also from the U.S. It is my hope that as we all increase our familiarity with the technological tools available, that we'll strive to connect on a personal level, deepen our relationships and cultural understandings. For example, a few months ago, I use Zoom to have conversations about Holy Communion with youth in Congo, sharing a recording of that with a church in Delaware that was talking with their youth about communion. Technology is not the only barrier to communication. Language is also an obstacle, even as many Congolese are eager to learn English. In the spirit of mutuality in our relationships, I urge English speakers to also learn French, Lingala, and Chiluba. We can learn from Jose Lamont-Jones how he is combining online self-study of French with WhatsApp language lessons from a teacher in a Presbyterian school in Kinshasa. It may not be an ideal way, but Jose is learning a lot more than just the French. He's also building an important relationship and learning about the church and the education system in the Congo. May the relationships between our churches, the Presbyterian Church of Congo, the Presbyterian Church of Kinshasa, and the Presbyterian Church of USA, become stronger despite this pandemic. Let us commit ourselves to that objective, strengthening the bonds of the church worldwide. May you be blessed in this 2020 Congo Mission Network virtual event. Thank you and God bless you.
Greetings. My name is Christy Boyd, and with my husband Jeff, I've served as a mission co-worker of the PCUSA since 1990. The last 7 years, this has been as a facilitator for women and children's interests, working with partners across Africa, with Kinshasa as a home base. For this year's update to the Congo Mission Network, I would like to touch on 3 ministries by different partners: the Ministry for Vulnerable Children of the Presbyterian Church in Congo, CPC, the Healing Hearts Ministries of the Protestant Council of Churches in Congo, or ECC, and the COVID-19 activity by the Women's Department of the Presbyterian Church in Kinshasa, CPK. The most significant developments this year have happened in the Presbyterian Ministry for Vulnerable Children of the CPC in East Kasai. For 20 years, the ministry has been rescuing abandoned children by welcoming them in halfway homes or foyers. It started with the foyer of Dibindi in the East Kasai Synod, but expanded over the years to further include those of Kabeya Kamwanga in the Lubi East and of Mweneditu in the Southeast Kasai Synods. Operating on just a shoestring budget, the ministry not only shelters the children but also ensures their nutritional, educational, health and spiritual needs. Meanwhile, the coordinator works with the state social services to trace back the children's biological families and mediate their reunification. In reality, however, any financial support first serves to buy the children food, which comes at the expense of their eventual reintegration. As a result, most children have been staying for years in the halfway homes. Early this year, Pastor Benoit, the ministry's coordinator for the past 9 years, embraced a new approach he had seen modeled by the Catholic Church in Bujimai. In the new model, the primary care will be provided by transitional host families that are members of CPC congregations near the Synod's halfway homes and supported by those congregations. Donor funds freed up this way will then serve to cover the expenses to trace back the children's families and ensure their reunification. Altogether, this would make the children's accompaniment more community-based, sustainable and inclusive. The new model also encompasses a preventative element with a 4-member volunteer committee in each CPC congregation of East Kasai to raise awareness in their communities about children's rights and to watch out for and denounce any abuses. Together and in collaboration with the Catholic Church and the state social services, the committees will serve as an alert system throughout East Kasai to help decrease children's vulnerability. The committees further ensure support of the host families in their respective congregations. A series of trainings are necessary in each of the 4 synods for a total of 24 host families and the 192 congregational committees. The costs of these trainings are significant, but a one-time expense only to complete the transition. Because schools were closed due to COVID-19 anyway, Pastor Benoit was able to work with the state's social workers to reintegrate in just 2 months' time all 45 children from the 3 halfway homes whose families had already been traced back. This move allows the church to make a clear break from the old model to launch the new approach. Pastor Manyai of the CPC's Ditakamena ministry in West Kasai has shown a great interest in the new model and will attend the first series of trainings in Bujimai with the idea of eventually replicating it in his own synod. Meanwhile, the ministries in both East and West Kasai seek to continue their scholarships for reintegrated children, as this helps facilitate the children's reunification and keeps them in school. The Women's Department of the CPK has also been active during the COVID-19 pandemic. Contracted by IMA World Health, Anin Tumba, the department's director, and Monique Misenga worked together to coordinate the efforts by two groups of 25 Presbyterian tailors total to produce over 27,000 high-quality face masks in just 10 weeks' time. But women made a huge sacrifice, but consider this a special ministry for the most vulnerable in the midst of a crisis. The department just signed a new contract for 27,000 masks to be finished by the end of this month. After a full training cycle for trauma healing facilitators held in West Kasai, the ECC Women and Families Department was hoping to organize a similar event this year in East Kasai. As the coordinator of the ECC Women's Department in East Kasai, Chantal Mulanga, who is a CPC women's leader, would be in charge of the local organization of the event, which was to take place in August of this year. For the first time, the training would be led by 6 of the ECC-trained certified facilitator trainers, coached before and during the event by Jean Matiabo as the master facilitator and lead trainer of the Congolese Bible Alliance. The global COVID-19 pandemic, however, disrupted these plans, and we're now looking at next year, so stay tuned. As Congolese society has meanwhile started opening up, we're working with the Ditikamena ministry to try and hold a children's trauma healing camp before the start of the new school year. In 2016, the ministry had been asked by the courts to take in children from Tenda that were displaced and unaccompanied due to the Kamwina-Nsapu conflict. We also anticipate similar healing hearts camps for children in the Nganza and Chibasi presbyteries. The 5-day camps will be led by 2 sets of ECC-trained facilitators. Thank you for your prayerful support of these ministries.
Hello, my name is Lars Dreshley. I've been a Peace USA mission co-worker since 1987. Most of my work has been in the Democratic Republic of Congo. When I started, I worked with the Presbyterian Church of Kinshasa to assist 3 health clinics. Now my work has me supporting over 1,000 clinics and 70 hospitals throughout the country. About 20 years ago, I realized that I could have the most impact if I worked through a faith-based organization called IMA World Health. I worked to establish IMA in Congo, and I'm now the country director. Our largest program supports healthcare for over 10 million people. It's a very comprehensive program that provides all of the inputs needed to provide primary health care at less than $2 per patient per illness. Another large program we have addresses diseases of poverty, malaria, AIDS, and tuberculosis. In this program, we distribute millions of insecticide-treated bed nets every year for free, along with the materials and drugs needed to diagnose and treat these 3 diseases. One of our longest-running programs supports the survivors of sexual violence in the East. Unfortunately, after 10 years, this is still a major problem in Congo. Last year, we became one of the largest actors in addressing the Ebola outbreak in eastern Congo. Fortunately, that disease is finished now, but we had to shift our work to address COVID-19. Currently, we are assisting 168 health centers in Kinshasa with the protective gear, equipment, and training needed to diagnose and care for COVID patients. This program will be expanded to working in 3 provinces in the coming months. It has been 33 years of very rewarding work, and I am grateful to the members of Peace USA for their prayers and support that has made it possible for me to have such an impact in Congo. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Inga Streshley. I'm a PCUSA mission co-worker based in Kinshasa in the Democratic Republic of Congo. I serve at the invitation of the CPK, which is the Presbyterian Community of Kinshasa. I'm seconded to IMA World Health, and I work as a nutrition coordinator and with Improved Cook Stoves. I also give oversight to MPH Guest House and Conference Center. Our work with nutrition here in the country focuses on improving nutrition for children under 5 years of age. We work in 50 health zones. 29 of those are in the Kasai and the Kasai Central region. These are two provinces, which have historically been where the Presbyterian Church has been active. Congo has a significant problem with malnutrition. 42% of children in Congo suffer from chronic malnutrition. This has implications for their health and well-being in the short term and the long term. In the short term, it puts them at greater risk for sickness and mortality, and in the long term, it has impact on their ability to learn, it has impact on their health, and as their earning potential as adults. To address the problem of malnutrition, we work with health zone nutritionists and over 13,000 community volunteers. They implement and monitor the nutrition activities that serve approximately 1,746,000 children. We ensure that the community volunteers are trained in best infant-child feeding practices, best home gardening practices, and that they know how to share those nutrition education messages in the community, particularly with families with malnourished children. My work with Improved Cook Stoves involves working with a stove produced by IMA called the Salamakala Stove. It's an efficient gasifier stove. It's fueled by wood, which turns the wood into charcoal during the cooking process. It produces significantly less smoke than cooking on an open fire. The majority of women in rural Congo cook on open fires, and so this stove can reduce their exposure and that of their children to smoke and may reduce respiratory illness. Our pilot sales project in Kinshasa and Congo with funds from Osprey Foundation and also the Presbyterian Church, Westminster Presbyterian Church in Delaware, has been put on pause due to the COVID pandemic, but we hope to resume soon. Our health impact study is ongoing now in the Kasai, and it's being done in 2 villages in the Chikaji Health Zone. The MPH Guest House and Conference Center that I give oversight to has served people of all denominations in Congo by offering lodging and a place to hold meetings and trainings. We feel the loss of Clay and Cindy Dunn deeply and are thankful for all their years of service. I know many of you have been welcomed on your travels to Congo by Clay and Cindy. With the COVID pandemic, MPH has changed focus and is now a place where people can quarantine as they enter Congo. This mission journey Larry and I have been on for 33 years has had significant challenges. It has also given us significant opportunities for impact, and it's been very rewarding. We are very thankful for our Congolese colleagues with whom we carry out this work, and we're thankful for the prayers and support from PCUSA members that have enabled us to serve here in Congo. So thank you for this opportunity to share a little of what we do.
Greetings.
Saludos.
Salud. We are Jose
and Evelyn Jones.
I am the new mission co-worker to Kinshasa, Democratic Republic of Congo.
When the pandemic allows, we will travel to Kinshasa.
I will be working with the Presbyterian community of Kinshasa, interacting with the schools in program design, implementation, and evaluation. I'm a former teacher, having taught from elementary to the college level, with specialization in articulation and educational pipeline development, from elementary to professional level education. I have worked in teacher training, pre-service education, and staff support for the universities of California at San Diego and San Diego State. I see the opportunity to work with the Presbyterian schools of Kinshasa as an opportunity to use my experience and preparation to help not only students, individual students, but generations of Congolese to grow strong and lift up their nation. We both have experience in the church.
I have served as psalmist and liturgist at my home church in Santo Domingo all my life. I have trained in liturgy and pastoral support. I am a former confirmation class leader and church secretary. I have always been involved with the care and well-being of the church and congregation.
My most recent church experience is with Hispanic ministries, working with Hispanic ministries in San Diego, California, and in Dayton, Ohio. I have served at the church, the presbytery, and synod levels since the 1970s. I've also served as Director of Christian Education, as a church musician and music director. I'm an ordained deacon and ruling elder. We look forward to getting involved in the local congregation in Kinshasa, to singing in the choir, and serving in whatever capacity we are needed.
My training in informatics and organizational skill might be of service. I also enjoy arts and crafts and can help my sister to decorate the church and express themselves artistically. We are ready to travel and begin our ministry in Congo.
While working from home in the Dominican Republic, we have been learning French. Our French tutor is a language teacher from Kinshasa. It was important to have a tutor from Africa to help with the accent. It was more important, given the pandemic, that we have a tutor from Kinshasa and be able to support the staff in the midst of the school shutdowns and etc. Madame Nelly, our tutor, is very effective and nice. We consider her our friend.
Merci beaucoup, Madame Nelly.
In addition to developing our language skills, I have been getting acquainted with the Congo Mission Network members and their churches. I've also been meeting with pastors and churches who engage with Congolese populations here in the United States. It's important that we be one of the links that help keep families and friends in contact across the Atlantic. Listening to their stories and experiences can also guide our work and help us understand need. I would like to meet with you. Please give me a call or send me an email. I have several videos that can help facilitate our getting to know each other. Our conversations at this time will guide my work when I am able to travel to Africa. Lastly, I would like to express my gratitude and thanks to Jeff Boyd and Debbie Baraxma, who have helped initiate me for my new ministry role, and also to the leadership of the Congo Mission Network. We have been working on this year's conference, and I'm in the process of putting together video clips like this one you see here. I've learned a lot. I trust that God will use me and my gifts to lift up this worthy ministry to churches here in the United States and for the church schools and children of the Congo. God bless.
Nous sommes prêts à voyager et à commencer notre ministère au Congo.